Good morning, my friends. This is Shirley McKinnon coming from Shirley's library this morning. Hope you had a fabulous Christmas and a happy new year to you all, and that you're looking forward to 2024. I'm really looking forward to 2024. I think it's going to be awesome. So, what book am I going to talk about today? Well, let me tell you, I'm going to talk about a book that you might not read the book, but you might like the concept. Now, you'll have all have heard about Benjamin Franklin. And I mean, I'd heard about him, you see the picture of him with a kite and the lightning and all the rest of it. I knew he was an inventor. And I knew he was an amazing statesman, diplomat. But at one stage when I was in London, I did the Benjamin Franklin experience, which they have set up in the house in which he lived there. And it's an amazing experience. It's just off Trafalgar Square. It's not really advertised very much. But you go into the house and you're welcomed with people dressed in the costume, and you sit outside a door and wait to go into a room, and you can hear conversations going on in the room. And then once the conversation's finished, you move into that room and you get to hear the story behind those conversations. He was actually driven out. He had to leave London. He'd been there 23 years as the representative from America at the Royal Court. After the Boston Tea Party, he had a mob came to his house and he had to escape, which I knew nothing about. Also didn't know the fact that his eldest son absolutely wiped him for being away from home for so long. But another thing I didn't know about him, so I bought his autobiography when I was there, and I discovered something absolutely wonderful. I now call him the father of self-development, because what he did was he took 13 traits that he wanted to be better at, and he created a little notebook which he carried with him everywhere, and he practiced every trait for a week. So he had this little chart all drawn up, and he would practice each trait for a week. So that's 13 traits, which is a quarter, and he would go through this 4 times in a year. I know. It's amazing. So let me share with you the traits that he chose. I wouldn't choose the same traits, but I certainly have a similar system, not quite as organised as this. So he said the first trait's temperance. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. Next one's silence. Speak not, but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. Number 3 is order. Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. Resolution. Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve. Frugality. Make no expense but to do good to others or yourself. Waste nothing. That's a really good one. Industry. Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions. Sincerity. Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly, and if you speak, speak accordingly. Moderation. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. Cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, cloths, or habitation. And tranquility. Be not disturbed at trifles or at accidents common or unavoidable. Chastity. Rarely use venery but for health or offspring. Isn't that great? Only have sex for health or offspring. Never to dullness, weakness, or the injury of your own or another's peace or reputation. And humility. Imitate Jesus and Socrates. So then he would, at the end of the day, would assess how well he'd done that day. And if he had done well, he left that little box blank. And he left it blank. So he figured that if he worked on one trait and it became stronger, then other less desirable traits became weaker. So he then monitored his traits and how he was doing. And this little this little chart here shows that on 2 days, he didn't think he'd done his silence very well, and there's a little dot in each one. And on a Sunday, there's 2 dots for for order. So he hadn't been very organized that day. But I thought it was a great idea for how to daily lift your performance, lift your ability to be the kind of person you wanted to be. And I don't quite go that far, but I do have a word for the year that I try to embody in my life, and but it's something worth thinking about. Now, the other thing that I just came across the other day, which I'd like to share with you, is I came across that as you get older, if you have big goals and things that you want to do, it will give you more vitality and more life. And I firmly believe that as people age, their goals get smaller, and so it drains their vitality, it drains their life. And I've got to tell you, I'm going for my biggest goals, and I'm enthusiastic, and I'm full of vitality in order to achieve them. So have a think about the kind of person you want to be. It's not an easy read because it's in Old English. It's exactly as he wrote it, but it makes for interesting reading, I think, anyway, because this is history in the making. And if you do go to London, do go to the Benjamin Franklin experience. It's extraordinary, and you won't believe the things that he invented. He invented even a stove that would throw out more heat in the front of it. He was an extraordinary man, but I love this system of self-improvement. So that's it from me today. This is Shirley McKinnon, wishing you a great week and the journey of self-discovery and self-improvement for you. That's me for today.